Hi folks, in this video I'm going to explain 5 washing line methods for stillwater success. I'm going to show you how I set it up, the flies that I use and when to employ it. So without further ado, let's get into it. You may already be aware of the washing line technique or at least heard of it. I've already made a couple of videos in the past that shows in some detail a little bit about the washing line. So today we're going to look at 5 different ways of fishing the washing line. Many anglers approach this method by just sticking a booby or a fab on the point of a fly and throwing it out there without really considering what's going on about them. So is the fish high in the water? Are the fish deep? It just doesn't really matter. They think if we stick a booby on and a couple of nymphs or buzzers up, it's just going to work out. That's very often not the case. A thinking angler will want to keep his team of flies in the taking zone for as long as possible. To do this effectively, some thought must go into the flies that we're going to be using and the lines we're going to use to deliver the cast. Stay till the end for a bonus setup that's sure to put more fish in your net. Before we dive in to have a look at the casts setup, let's talk about fly lines. For the purpose of this video, let's assume that we're going to be fishing either a floating line or a midge tip. In reality though, the washing line method can be used in conjunction with any line you may own. I don't want to muddy the waters by introducing different density fly lines, not to mention the various profiles that are available, such as sweep lines or 5-7 competitor lines that sink tip first. Perhaps we can look at that in a separate video. Okay, let's take a look at the first cast. Booby on the point, 2 nymphs and a fab on the top dropper. If you're seeing surface activity but no sure sign that the fish are taking dries from the surface, then you will want to keep your flies as high in the water as possible. To achieve this, I would use a larger eyed booby on the point and a fab on the top dropper. The 2 nymphs would be relatively small, size 12 usually, but on occasion as small as size 14. They would generally be lighter patterns such as crunchers, dialbacks or muskins. This will ensure that the cast is not dragged down by the team of flies. Let's take a look at the next cast. Booby 2 or 3 super glue buzzers up. Depending on how you're retrieving the cast will determine where the flies fish in the water. A slow or static retrieve will see the buzzers slowly pull the booby deeper. A long draw will bring all the flies higher in the water column. As they start to slowly drop down again, this is very often when the take will come. Well, that's 2 casts down. Let's take a look at number 3. A booby with 2 or 3 crunchers up. So on this cast we have swapped out the heavier buzzers for much lighter nymphs. Again, a lot depends on your retrieve. With a very slow retrieve, your flies will remain in the top few feet of the water column. If left static, they will eventually sink a little. Very effective if the fish are in the top 3 to 4 feet of water. Guys, I'd just like to pause for a moment. If you're enjoying the content I'm creating, please don't forget to leave the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time. It signals to YouTube that you're enjoying the content I'm making, which is encouraging me to do more. So anyway, let's get right back to it. Right, number 4. Well, we've talked a lot about having a booby on the point, and we have mentioned in one of the other casts a fab on the top dropper. This will keep your cast pretty high in the water. But what I want to do with this cast is to have the flies sink a little quicker. A fab with 2 or 3 buzzers up, swapping out the booby for a fab will increase the speed in which the cast descends in the water column. Why would we want this? Well, if we are unsure of the feeding depth of the fish, or that there may be 2 bands of fish and you want to cover all the bases, very often a fab will be taken more readily than a booby. Another reason this method could come into play is if boobies are banned at the water you are fishing. You must check the local regulations at the fishery. Number 5 then. So If we put a fab on the point and we put small crunchers and dial backs up from that, we're going to get a fairly slow descent. Will it be as slow as having a booby on the point? No, and the reason for that is there's a lot more foam on most booby patterns than there are on fab patterns. There's only a little bit of foam in the back end of a fab that's going to sustain it, but it will really slow that cast down, especially fishing such light nymphs, dialbacks, crunchers, muskins, that sort of style, hare's ear patterns, whatever floats your boat or whatever you think is going to imitate the food items the fish are feeding on at the time. Well, that's 5 casts that I recommend you give a go if you're just starting to learn the washing line technique. All 5 of these are proven winners and you'll definitely catch a lot of fish doing it. Now, you don't just need to do what I've suggested here. The list is limitless. You can try different things, floating fry on the point, or a buoyant daddy longlegs pattern with a detached Ethophone body works particularly well at venues like Draycott. So it really does take a little bit of experimenting. Now, it's not the be all and end all of fly fishing, of course. Like everything else, it has its drawbacks. Good angling, regardless of discipline, be it river, stillwater or loch style fishing, comes down to one very real truth: direct contact to your flies. Any slack in your system gives the fish the opportunity to eat and reject your fly without you ever knowing. I have watched anglers fishing indicators with their fly lines lying coiled in front of them on the water. Even if you see an indication, your rod's got to move a long way before you can set the hook. Inevitably, with the washing line, you will get a small amount of slack in your system. You will get lots of small plucks or takes, but convert very few. If this continues to happen, you need to change to a method that is going to cut out the slack. You can take off the buoyant flies, or you can simply speed up your retrieve to eliminate the slack line. So, as I mentioned at the start, I've got one more cast to show you. Now, back in the good old days when I was still doing quite a lot of competition fishing, I was fishing for England at Rutland Water, and a fantastic angler, Phil Dixon, came up with this method of fishing the washing line, and I'm going to show you that cast now. It's simply a booby on the point with a very heavy buzzer just up from the booby. Now what that does is it will drag the booby down relatively quickly, depending on the size of eyes of course, but regardless of that, that movement is very enticing to trout and it will descend through the water column. Now up from the buzzer you'll have a couple of other flies, a dial back, a cruncher maybe, and so what you're getting is that angle where you're covering several different depths of water. It can be fished statically or a very slow figure of 8 retrieve, but the takes are phenomenally hard and it's a great method to have in your back pocket. I would implore you to give it a go and you can thank me later. Like most forms of fly fishing, the washing line has its place in your armoury and you should become proficient in using it. Things to remember: be mindful of the conditions and where the fish may be in the water column. Keep a tight line to your flies. You will catch more fish. If it's not working, change. Even small changes can make a big difference. Tell us what you've been doing.
Okay, what happened is we were seeing fish and I was starting to think that I was going under them slightly. So what I did was I decided to put a booby on the top dropper and also a booby on the point, and in between it hang 2 buzzers. And what an instant response. On that last drift I think I picked up 4 fish, so it was a good call. Flies are higher in the water now and it's made a massive difference. Just that one small fly change and it's paying dividends, and we'll try again on this drift and see what happens.
Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.